Dope. What's up, people? It's your boy Dax, shop owner at Savage Tattoo. Today we're gonna do a little different video. I got a story that I want to share with an insight here that's going to speak to a specific type of individual. Before we get into this though, first off, if you're tuning in on the live video, drop a hashtag Savage, and if you're watching the replay, drop a hashtag Cabbage, because that means you're late to the show, man. I like to reward people that are jumping on these live videos because I don't know when they're gonna fucking happen. Every time I try to schedule them, I lose the inspiration and that flow of wanting to do it. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm just gonna jump on here when I'm feeling lit, and maybe I can light some more candles, you know what I'm saying? So maybe I'll do some little shout outs real quick. If you got questions, drop them below. I'm gonna roll a blunt real quick while I'm breaking this down. I got a little context of the story, so drop some comments, some questions, maybe I can help y'all. So it starts like this. So I was doing a live video earlier today, and one of my friends was like, why don't you share more techniques, like how you're doing these shades? Actually, let me show you what I was doing. So I've got my painting right here, this big boy, and I was painting live, right? So my friend's like, why don't you share more techniques of how you're doing these shades and stuff? And that's what inspired this video. And it's not for everybody, you know, there's so many different contexts and so many different skill levels. We're all on different parts of the journey. So just, you know, follow me on this. If you're a newcomer, this ain't for you, but I'm going to tell you once, hold that thought. So my friend was like, what do you mean they don't need techniques? If they want to get better, that's what they need. That's like, no, that's not what they need. And just to give you some context of where I was coming from, so in the last 5 years, I've had over 200 people buy my portrait black and gray tattoo course. I've sold a bunch of courses, gave a bunch of free content out to a lot of you guys, and helped a lot of tattoo artists. And I also survey my people as well to get to know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what they're struggling with, and what are they struggling with behind what they actually say. Because most people don't say what they're actually struggling with, so you have to look behind it. Just like with talking to a tattoo client, when you're talking to them and you're a high-priced artist and you get to the price and it comes down to them booking and they say they need to go talk to their wife or husband, they don't really need to talk to their wife or husband. That's just a really easy way to get out of an uncomfortable situation where you got to say no to somebody. And naturally, humans do that all the time. So this was no different. But what I realized is through all this research and, you know, getting to know you guys, and everybody's in different situations, like I said, different experience levels, I have found something very interesting, and that is this. And I looked around in different places too and found the same thing. So with my courses, you know, yeah, maybe 200 people have bought this portrait course and went through it all. Well, maybe 30 that I know of, 30 of those people are actually doing portraits. So what happened to the other people that bought it and didn't get results? They got the same techniques, they got the same strategies, they got the same system as everybody else. Why didn't they get the results? Well, the reason it's because they didn't do the work. And they didn't do the work for different reasons. Sometimes it's procrastination. Sometimes, a lot of the time, it's doubt. A lot of the times, they talk themselves out of it, or perfectionism. You know, there's so many different things that even if we have the information, we do not get the result because we don't do the work. Because it's not an external thing we need. We don't need a new machine. We don't need a new ink. I know this is going to go over some people's head, especially the tattoo artists. They get excited like a diva when they get a new machine, just like, you know, a woman in a new pair of heels. But that's not what you need, guys. I mean, yeah, if you're using Chinese knockoff machines, that is what you need. And if you're tattooing in the house and you don't have an apprenticeship, you do need some real knowledge and education and a real mentor that's going to set you straight. But if you've been in, there's something called the self-development trap. And that is something where people get addicted to self-development. I've been in it myself. And it's it's something where you constantly are growing, constantly needing to learn new things and learn new things, even though you already know. And then eventually things just become things that you already knew. But internally, you're always looking for this new thing, like you have something missing. And it's kind of hard to explain besides if you've been there, but if you're always searching, like when you're a student, it's good to always be a student, but when you start with self-development, get it. Yeah, learn all the stuff. But at some point, when you're 5-10 years into the game and you're constantly buying courses, constantly learning the new thing, constantly new techniques, when does it end? You know, in actuality, we don't need the new techniques. We don't need this new external thing to get us something internal. We need to do the internal work. And it's easy to think we need a new technique to do a better work. But in actuality, what we need is practice. Practice is how I get good. It's not from a new type of ink. I can do the same shit with any type of ink, any type of needle. There's gonna be a little differences, but for the most part, I've focused on the foundations of my art. You know, you see me doing stuff on painting, I do it in drawing, and I do it in tattooing. The reason why is because when you do them different ways, your brain starts to think differently. Like when I'm tattooing, sometimes I think of my thing as a paintbrush rather than a needle. It just gives you a different perspective on what you already know. And so that's why I say you don't need more techniques, because I know there's some people out there that have went through a lot of the things that I've dealt with and helped clients with and artists with. When they think they need the new technique and stuff, what they really need is practice. You need, you know, and if there's one thing that I can help tattoo artists overcome, it's not giving you the new techniques. It's the internal shit that matters whether you're a tattoo artist or not. This is the shit that's, you know, makes the man or makes the woman. It's you know, being able to handle adversity and overcoming your doubts, believing in yourself, and what is that? Eliminating procrastination, learning how to deal with it, because this is something that a lot of artists in general don't talk about. I don't know if I've ever heard this anywhere, but I believe being an artist, being a creator is a blessing. I didn't even roll my blunt over here. I done broke it up, walked around my fucking studio. Didn't even break nothing up, god damn it. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. So I believe it's a blessing and a curse. Hear me out on this. It's a blessing because we get to create, we get to express what we feel in a piece of art. We get to help people in tattooing as well. Like, we're like our client's coolest person in their life in most of the time, in most of the cases. And that's a cool fucking job to have. We have an amazing job. What was I getting at with this? I just seen all my comments just popped up. Normally I can't see them. I don't know how they just popped up, but it just distracted me from what I was saying. Where was I at with this? So, okay, so, you know, and if you look back in history, like, artists were the people that were next to royalty. They might not have been the kings or the queens, but they're always next to royalty. Well, why is that? I'm not exactly sure, but I do know, you know, wealthy people like art, and they can pay for it. And so thinking about that, it's like, where the hell was I getting at with this? Holy shit. I got to circle back to that because there's a good point. If you're still starting out, I want to go back to the technique thing. If you're still starting out, learn, you know what I'm saying? But if you're getting stuck in that trap of, I always need to learn more, I always need these new techniques for portraits and stuff, it's very more likely that you need just more practice. Just keep doing it. Repetition is key. And believing in yourself. When it comes to the art, okay, that's where I was at. So us as artists, the more you create, the more momentum you build, right? The more people come to you for your tattoos. That's what we're calling momentum, all right? So the more you do tattoos, the more you build your rep, the more you get clients, the more you build demand, right? All that stuff is already, we know that. Well, the more we do that stuff, where the hell was I going with this? So the more we do this stuff, that momentum, it needs to be controlled. And us as artists, this is why a lot of tattoo artists or artists in general get lost on drugs. Hold that thought. So when you have a lot of momentum going, when you're a creator and you're used to creating and you get in this flow of being able to create at a high level every fucking day, you get addicted to it. I'm one of those people. And I know a lot of you guys are those people too. You get off on just tattooing every day and you want to learn and learn and learn. It's a lifestyle. You get addicted to it. It's fun. It's great. It's purposeful. It's impactful. And the more we get into that, this is the crazy thing is if you try to retire, so to speak, like there was a time where, you know, I went to Miami, which is where I'm at, and I took a break from the shop in Utah to see things from a different perspective, focus on growing the shop from afar a few years ago. And I kind of got lazy. I smoked a lot of weed. I stopped on my working out. I stopped on my art. I got kind of lazy and I smoked even more weed. And what I realized was, and I started doing self-destructive stuff. And that's what I realized is the curse as well. Like it's a blessing to be an artist, but it's a curse if we don't responsibly deal with that noose around our neck. You know what I'm saying? Like artists can hang ourselves, we can fuck ourselves over, ruin our reputation, and just ruin our whole lifestyle that was all free and fun and great, full of freedom and fun and greatness. Like we can fuck that up if we don't continue to create art. If we have a lot, and this is harder, see, when you don't have momentum, you don't feel this. But when you build momentum, this is where you get that where some people get that rock star vibe and that attitude. When they're on top of the world, if they don't if they don't keep creating, we go into self-destructive patterns. Whether that's an ego pattern or whether that's, getting lost in addiction or getting lost into some other shit that doesn't serve us, doesn't serve our soul, doesn't serve our purpose. And that's the other side of creating. And, that's something I still deal with. Now, follow me here. It's like every time I like painting is different than tattooing. Tattooing, super easy to show up to my tattoo appointments with my clients because it's like, yo, if I don't, I'm a piece of shit. I like to hold myself and pride myself on my word to my clients. It's easy for me to show up to that meeting. But here's the kicker. It's like, well, when I gotta wake up and there's nobody showing up, I don't gotta meet a client. My client is the canvas. Like that's a whole different challenge because canvas ain't gonna get upset if I don't paint it. You know what I'm saying? It's a harder self-discipline to go through because it's just so easy to not want to do, especially the more I start doing it and kind of taking a break from tattooing. As my books are closed, it's like focusing on the painting, it requires a different level of discipline just to go over there and do it. And there's so many every day. There's, you've seen what I can paint. You see it in the background, like I do big stuff. But still to this day, every single time I go to paint, little small sessions, just every time I start to paint, there's always, my mind is like, just go smoke another blunt first. Go grab a protein shake first. Go do your workout first. Go make that phone call, see how the artists back in Utah are doing first. Like there's always a thing that in my mind, it's like, procrastinate from doing the work and do this thing instead. I try to put that in front of my actual progress. And what that is it's me, it's our inner demons as artists trying to come out and distract us from our path. And the only thing you can do to make yourself feel better is to make progress. It's to push that shit out and get on the canvas and just do the art. And that's how you battle the inner demon as an artist. That's how you battle that curse and you stay blessed. I'm actually learning a lot about these concepts. If you like what I'm talking about, there's an author of a book called, his name's Steven Pressfield, and there's a book called The Art, no, it's not The Art of War, that's a different one. It's called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. Little white book like this. This is his second one called Do the Work. but they're all very similar. And I recommend, it's basically like a small Bible that every single one of you artists should read, because it goes through the internal stuff that oftentimes we overlook, because it's so easy to think, man, if I just had that new machine, or if I just had that flashy new thing that the industry is showing off, or that sponsored artist is doing that dope ass work, if I just use what they're using, I would be able to do better work. It's easy to get caught up in that magic pill society type of thing, when in actuality, it's the fundamentals, it's the practice, and it's the believing in yourself and being okay to fuck up and make the mistakes. You have to believe in yourself. And as long as you're doing it right, I don't know, there's so many different people that are in different scenarios here, so I can't give out any specific ones, but the biggest thing I've learned in myself, and that I want to instill in every person that appreciates what I share, is you got to believe in yourself. If you know my story, you know I grew up trying to bond with my father while he was in prison. I did art because I started doing art at a very young age, because he would send me drawings and his letters with drawings on them. Well, you know, fast forward to when he got out, when he got out, which was about 17 years old of my life. Can you guys hear me real quick? I just want to make sure the connection's good. I just got a comment. Okay, I got a yes. So back to what I was saying, when he got out, we sat down to try to bond, and I was doing art. I was already winning awards, so I was excited to show him what I was doing, and I was excited to see his new skills, because I haven't seen one of his drawings for a while. We get out, he starts drawing really quickly, something doesn't add up. His drawings look nothing like he would send me. Well, that's when I realized he had all those drawings done as, you know, paying ramen noodles and commissary to get those done for his boy, because he just wanted some cool pictures to go with his letters. And I assumed all my entire life that he was drawing all of those letters and all of those drawings. I assumed that was my father drawing those, and so that's what I drew to try to bond with my father while I was a youngster. By the time I was in high school winning awards, this whole thing was such a fucking confusing shock to me. I didn't want to believe it. I couldn't believe that he wasn't an artist. I grew up to that point believing that my father was an artist, so that's why I was an artist. I had it in my blood. And at that same moment, I couldn't doubt that I was an artist, even though he wasn't an artist. Why? Because I was winning awards already, so I was good. People were paying for my tattoos, even in high school. So that's when I had to realize, like, holy shit, this is deeper than that. Like, who cares if he wasn't an artist? That was still a blessing. I love the man for that. Like, he helped me come open my mind to this, that it's not what you inherit through your blood, it's the belief that you have it in your blood in the first place. It's not your actual DNA, it's that you believe you have it in your DNA. And if you can get your belief system so strong that you believe to that level, that it's inside you, flowing through your fucking veins, I don't know what's possible, but I know it's nearly unlimited. You know what I'm saying? You got to believe in yourself. So that's my message for this video that I want to end on. This is a great note. Believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself like it's flowing through your veins. That's step number one. Stay tuned. I'll be sharing some more of this stuff. Random live videos. So I appreciate y'all. If you guys are not already subscribed, make sure you do that. Turn on the notifications on live so that you get notifications when I jump on here, because it's going to be random. You know, I've tried to make a schedule, and every time I say a schedule, I lose the inspiration to want to do all this stuff. Before I jump off of here, I want to see if there's any questions, see if anybody needs some help that I can help with. Some shout outs. What's up, Hustle? Hustle Man Rim. I don't know if I said that right. What's up, William? Tim? Infinite Syndicate. The Richard, Chris, what's up, bro? Juan. Man, man, I wish I could see all these as they pop up, but they pop up randomly, so I don't even know people are commenting while I'm doing this. Hell yeah. Also, I guess while I'm finishing rolling this blunt, I should throw it out there. My studio in Utah, we're looking for one more artist to add to our team. Shit, man. Every single one of my... Oh, there we go. I don't know if you guys could hear how far that cut out, but in Utah, we are looking for an artist to join our team. This is an exciting opportunity. It's a life-changing opportunity for the right type of artist. I'll just break down a little bit about it. If you don't want to hear about it, or if you're happy with where you're at, feel free to jump off here. It's all love. If you're a shop owner, it's all love. But I just want to, I'm looking for something specific. And so, you know, I've realized that nowadays, the best artists that I hire that vibe in my shop are the people that come from this channel right here, even though I'm not always on it. And so, you know, I want to break down some of that. And so if you have some questions about this, drop them below. But first off, I want to break down, like, every one of my artists, none of my artists are from Utah, even though the shop's in Utah, for a purpose. Like, I like to bring people in from different states to bring a different flavor in. Utah's really bland. I mean, there's still some great artists out there, but I like, number one, I like to bring a new flavor to the state. And at the same time, I like people that are willing to, like, just somebody who's willing to move and relocate for a job opportunity shows they got skin in the game. It shows that they've got a deeper level of desire and want than somebody who limits themselves to where they're willing to work based on where they live. For example, it's just no different than with clients, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ever met a client where it's like, they're like, yeah, man, I really want to get a tattoo. Your work's so dope, but fuck, man, it's like a 25-minute drive to you. It's like, bitch, are you really going to limit yourself and what's on your body over a 25-minute drive? I got motherfuckers flying across the country paying me 15 grand for a session. Like, come on, man. Like, if you don't, and obviously I wouldn't call them a bitch right there to their face, unless I planned on not wanting to deal with them or talk to them ever again. That's what I can expect. But in reality, it's just like, you have to find people, the best people that believe, that are gonna go hard for you, whether it's a client or somebody that's, you know, on your team. It's somebody that is invested in it. If they are not invested, if they need it convenient, that's not, this is the thing, is all the life-changing opportunities. One of my mentors said this to me, and it always comes through my head. He said this. He said, Dax, look around. He's like, nearly everybody in the population has already got a life-changing opportunity or $1 million opportunity. And you know the sad part about it? What? He said they let it pass them by and they didn't even see it. They didn't even realize it for a couple reasons. Either they didn't have the mind, they didn't have the mindset to even see it, or because they just didn't see it because that opportunity was disguised as an inconvenience, not the right time, too far, too expensive. Like, we've all had these things go through our life, you know what I'm saying? I've had them many times, but I do know this, like, drastic change creates drastic results. And so that's what we're looking for at the shop. And just as a track record, like I said, every person came. We got Louis from New York. What I'm asking from an artist to come, we do a 30-day trial first just to fill you out. You get to fill us out. It's like a 30-day guest spot, except you're actually making money. You're not sitting in a shop, you know, eating Cheetos, smoking pot, hoping somebody's going to walk in the shop. Like, we actually book you consults. I pay money out of my pocket to advertise so that every single one of my artists gets a consistent amount of consultations every single week. That way we make goals to book up. Like, we just went through a contest where I was gonna buy the artist, if they could book up 3 months within, I think it was 45 days. If they could book 3 months of their schedule within 45 days, I was gonna buy whoever could do that. What the hell is the machine I'm using right now? It's the Spectra. It's the newest Spectra with the Flux. I love that machine. But yeah, nobody won it. They got so close, literally $300 away. It was sad. Yeah, man. So we got incentives at Savage Tattoo. If you want to hear more, hit me up on probably Instagram would be the best place. Savage Dax or Dax McClellan. But our shop is it's a life-changing place, man. I mean, it's more than just a place where you can make money. It's more than just a cool place where you can talk about art. Like, it's the environment where I give you a rope and you decide if you're gonna hang yourself or not. I give you an amazing rope, a rope that you can do a lot of stuff with. This environment, you know, allows you to grow into the artist that you wanna be. It doesn't do the work for you, but it allows you. There's no fucking limits. There's no gossip, no negativity, none of that mumbo jumbo, weird, goofy ass competition between teammates. Like, there's no shit talking. There's no racial fucking bullshit going on. Like, our studio, we got a tight knit team. And the thing is A players don't want to work next to B and C players. We got A players on the team. So if you're an A player and you just feel like you're not in an A player environment, hit me up. I'd love to talk, see if we're a good fit. The situation, living expenses and stuff is pretty damn cheap in Utah, so it's not that hard. I mean, I've had a 21-year-old artist make this trip, and it changed his life. Motherfucker made $140,000 his first year. Not saying you're gonna do that, because this motherfucker was very, very, very driven. But what I am saying is, if you're a grown-ass adult, and you aren't happy with where you're at, and this is speaking to you, I don't want to hear that excuse as to you can't make it out to Utah, because there's motherfuckers that have it worse than you. I've had artists that have had kids and a wife fly out and do the whole thing and find success. I've also had young tattoo artists that didn't have their skills developed, do the same thing, and everything in between. So it can be done. You gotta believe in yourself, but we do definitely create a nice situation for the right artists. I mean, everything's cut out checks, so you have proof of income. You can get that, allows you to get a house in the long term. I teach wealth, man. I teach long-term happiness, long-term wealth, not just like how to make some quick cash bucks, blow it all on fucking hookers and blow, and then continue to not having a show for yourself at 45 years old. Like, I'm all about building my legacy and wealth for myself and everybody that's around me. So I teach that shit. So if this speaks to you, hit me up. Other than that, I don't think there's any more questions. We've got John McKenzie. What's up, Mr. McKenzie? Good to hear from you, man. I'd like to catch up with you, dude. Hit me up on Facebook. We got Jamaica in the house. Hey, rude boy. Top Shotters is back. Mad Doc's in the house. Well, yeah, I appreciate y'all. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that good stuff. And yeah, stay tuned for next time. Y'all have a good one.